Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Road Talk with Cade. Today in my life is June 14th, 2026. I am currently on top of Mount Craig, which is one mountain over from Mount Mitchell, the highest point in the eastern United States. And today, we're going to go over my 10-minute stretch routine that I've been doing every day since the start of the new year. So to start, I'm just going to roll up the neck. I didn't plan on being up here today. I actually planned to do this video from an outlook or overlook driving up towards this direction north of Asheville. But there was a car there and there's a guy sleeping inside of it. I wasn't really in the mood to roll up and try and film a video while there's a guy sleeping in a car a couple feet from me. So then I said, screw it, there's gotta be another overlook to use. And that I unfortunately did not find. There's a few that would have worked, but the sun was shining and it wouldn't have worked very good with the camera angles and stuff. So I just kept driving, and all of a sudden I got to the entrance of Mount Mitchell State Park, which I did not know was open. I didn't realize you could get all the way up here. Based on all the signs in Asheville, it says the road's closed 27 miles up, and then there's no access to Mount Mitchell State Park, which I guess that's not true, as you can see me here. But I got out, did a mile this morning, and then to enjoy the view that you guys can't really see, I wanted to shoot this video. But yeah, so that, we'll get into some shoulders. Loosen up the back a little bit, where I'm not in pain while I drive my car. As this week I'm going to do about 1,000 miles to get home from Asheville to Wisconsin. So I'm very excited for that. But you got to keep the back loose. Alright, now that all the standing's done, let's get into bending over. Oh yeah, that's the spot. So at the start of the year, when I put out that first video in January, one of my goals was to stretch for 10 minutes every single day. And that started out with me watching a YouTube video pretty much every morning or afternoon, or if I was at the gym and I was on the road, I would just watch a 10-minute YouTube video for instructions on how to stretch for 10 minutes, which was something odd that I didn't realize I didn't know how to stretch for 10 minutes, as I don't think I've ever stretched outside of high school sports. So I had to teach myself how to stretch, and after 2 or 3 months worth of watching 10-minute YouTube videos, I was able to put together a little bit of a routine, and that routine has since grown into what you're watching me do today. This is my favorite stretch right here. Get the blood flowing in the calves and the hamstrings. Alright, now this is going to be a little awkward. I thought about bringing my yoga mat out here, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to need it. There won't be a spot to record. And here we are. It's a perfect spot to record. And I've been up here before, so I knew that. But it was pretty cloudy when I got out of the car, and I thought I'd just do this video on the way back, which I might re-record it on the way back, just to have 2 takes of it. But let's get into this, because my knees already hurt from doing this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is gonna suck. Yeah, find a better spot. Need a little more room. That's not gonna work. Alright, we're gonna have to skip those for today. So we roll over onto my back. Alright, that's not too bad. Yeah, we're just gonna have to skip that one stretch for today, because that's not gonna work with the knees and the amount of space I have on this rock. Loosen up the hips now that the back is nice and loose. Just work my way down the body. Usually I'm on a yoga mat. That is much more comfortable than this. But it's not the worst rock I've ever spent too much time on. It's also just a good connection to the earth. So I shouldn't complain too much. I hope you guys can see the view. Alright, now this next one's also going to be a little bit awkward. The YouTuber I always watched called this stretch the world's greatest stretch. And I think he's right. Because it uses every single one of my leg muscles. And it always hurts. Hurts probably isn't the right word, but all the way through my calf, all the way up to my glutes. Every day. There's a good stretch. Whether it's 2 days after leg day and I'm as sore as I can possibly be, or I'm completely fresh and haven't hiked too many miles, this stretch opens up the entire body. Now one more. Last stretch And then I'm free for the day. I feel better, I feel looser, I feel more awake. Just gotta do this. Grab the toes. Now that I'm all loosened up, I feel much better. I feel awake. I feel alive. I can feel the blood flow. I'm ready to have a good day. So, I would recommend stretching every day. It's good for you. Thank you for listening. I love you. Bye.